we got to talk about just the presentation and the transformation, because your pal got an opportunity here after being an enhancement guy over in WCW to be the roadie for you and be your second. And then he tried to do that real Double J, and man, he just sort of floundered a lot of 97. But when they pair him with Billy Gunn, they're off to the races before you know it. And by early 1998, they become full-fledged members of DX. And man, he's just printing money from that point forward. But I think nobody probably would have predicted that for these guys as singles acts in 97. Certainly they both had been successful in their own right and become, contracted television wrestlers, which is damn half the battle. But to now, listen, even compare your experience in 1998 to his. You got to be proud for your friend here, man. The New Age Outlaws, they were changing the game.
I mean, big time. And, the thread of this entire podcast will be, and I'll say it a couple of times, to me, just how talented of an individual Brian is. But even Brian couldn't get over the Double J character in the Attitude Era. To me, that's one of the early things in research and going over this that popped out of it is that the real Double J in the early Attitude Era, it just didn't fit. The NWO's hot on the other channel, Stone Cold, the early days of that. And then all of a sudden, the Roadie, which was cool. And man, Double J was hot, and Bruce producing me in those vignettes and the storyline with Razor and all that. I'll say I was rolling along cooking, but the day they put a Roadie with me, it fit the gimmick so well. Brian enhanced the box office package literally overnight. Well, fast forward a couple of years, look at Brian and Billy, floundering, if you will. But did they come up with this shtick, if you will, that just fit with the Attitude Era and the New Age Outlaws and Brian's creative mind? And obviously, I think he's one of the greatest promos for that Attitude generation, that you had to kind of mesh catchphrases, not only mesh catchphrases, but some storyline, and then you got to make it entertaining. And above everything, you got to do it in 90 seconds or 65 seconds or 70 seconds. In the territory days, Lawler or Idol or Dusty Rhodes or Ric Flair, or, I could go on and on and on. They had 3.5 minutes, 4.5 minutes, whatever. A lot longer. Brian had the ability in 90 seconds to just, magnetic personality, and knew how to make it work. So bingo, Attitude Era, the right gimmick, the right guys. They immediately, and I've said this, and we'll get into kind of the DX conversation. And I know Eric said that, I'll let you say it, but I think Bischoff said a couple of weeks ago that the kind of the
straw that stirs the drink.
My bad. There it is. Straw that stirs the drink of X-Pac moving into DX. I can see where it fit the gimmick and the attitude, but Brian's creativity and his catchphrases and his look with the braids and everything that goes with it. I've said for years, Brian put the X in DX. I've said that many times.